What's up everybody, my name is Patrick Foley, I'm a 3D artist, and this is how to use the Omni 20 Plus by Omnicharge. So this thing's got one of the most versatile set of ports for a portable charger that I've seen. It's got a USB-C port, which I use a lot of times for charging my MacBook Pro. I know a lot of products nowadays use USB-C. A DC port, which you can not only charge the Omnicharge with, but you can charge certain things like my more beefy laptop that I do 3D rendering on. And then we got a couple USB-A ports, which is useful for like Apple products, iPhone, iPad, you name it, and an AC port, which will charge certain things like my DSLR that I use for an external webcam, or really any product that you would plug into the wall. So that's one of those ports that's probably the most hard to find when you're talking about something on the go. Very few products I've seen have that, so that one's a big one for me. Last but not least, my favorite part of all, the wireless charging. So all you have to do here is just line your phone with the back end of the Omnicharge, and it should start charging right away. So in terms of charging the Omni 20 Plus itself, you have a couple options as well. You can go with the USB-C port or the DC port. So and then obviously with a product like this, you can do pass-through charging, which is really nice. So if you are by an outlet, you can be charging the Omni 20 Plus as well as just passing through the power to your other devices and charging them simultaneously as you're charging the Omni 20 Plus. So when I first got this product, I was a little bit hesitant and weary that it wouldn't charge my beefier laptop that I use for hardcore 3D rendering. And so I was very surprised to find out that with one of their adapters, specifically the DC port adapter from their adapter pack, it was able to charge the laptop no problem. All I had to do was go on battery saver mode and dim the screen a little bit, but I was able to do what I needed to do using the laptop. So with a double tap of the power button, you get this really comprehensive menu with a bunch of options here. So we'll start off with the DC port options here, and this one theoretically I think is the most versatile of them all because you can change the voltage. I set this all the way to 20 volts and was able to power my laptop no problem. So we'll move down to the wall socket option here, and there you can change a couple different parameters with the voltage. Things like USB, whether it is default on or off. We have the screen off feature, so how many minutes it'll take before the screen shuts off. I usually set this at like 1 minute or 5 minutes, but you can set it to never. And then you have auto shutdown, which is very useful because a lot of times I'll forget that this thing's on. By default, I have this set to 5 minutes. So if I'm not using it or any ports for 5 minutes, it'll auto shut down, which has definitely saved me more than one time. And then we have the temperature, you can change from imperial to metric. And then we have a button light, so if you're really trying to conserve energy and you don't necessarily need to have these buttons highlighted, you can disable them as well. And then you have time remaining, so you can see how much time is left remaining on the Omnicharge before it dies. And so this is really useful for when you start plugging a lot of things in and it's using much more power, so you can kind of allocate your resources appropriately. So with most of the other power banks I've used, not only does it not have a screen, but you don't even know how much left you can charge your other devices, how much battery the device itself has, or any of this comprehensive info. This was a major step up and I can't see myself ever going back. So along with the really comprehensive screen, right next to it we have the buttons that enable and disable the use of the AC port as well as the USB ports. So if you know you're using a bunch of USB ports but you're not going to be using the AC port, you can disable and allocate more energy towards certain ports. So the Omni 20 Plus is undoubtedly one of the most versatile products I have to charge all my devices on the go. With the Omni 20 Plus, you'll always have reliable power no matter where you are.